Hey everybody and welcome back. So today I wanted to do a brand focus tutorial, and I'm just going to be using all ColourPop today. So I'm just going to be using bronzer, highlighter, blush, all of the eyeshadows, and the lip liner and the lipstick. So pretty much everything that ColourPop has color wise, it will be in this tutorial. It's just, this is great because it's a really wearable, that's what I go for. I've said that a million times, but I really do. I go for that wearable to where it's not super dramatic, but you can definitely vamp it up or make it more smoky and dramatic using this as like a good base for these colors as well as on the eyes. I don't know, I didn't think about this before, but I just saw it, so I did it. If you weren't able to get your hands on the ColourPop, the Birthday Girl, they only had it for like a week or two with the orders. I will go through and try and find something that's the closest to this, so that way, in case you didn't get your hands on this, you can go and find something similar from ColourPop, so that way you stay in the same low price range for you. So if you want to go ahead and see how I achieved this wearable everyday ColourPop look, then go ahead and keep watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Alrighty, so first off, I'm just going to be going in with the shade To a T, which is just like a nice kind of warm caramely brown color. And then we're using the shade Bill, which is one of ColourPop's matte shadows. And going ahead just with a pencil brush, this is a Morphe, it's from the Elite collection, it's just the E36. And we'll be going in and just putting that directly into the crease to give kind of like more definition, but nothing too blunt. It is like a nice kind of like grayish color, which is strange because To a T is more warm, but they seem to blend really well together, which I ended up liking at the end. At the beginning, I wasn't too sure. But next, the star of the show is just the Birthday Girl shadow from ColourPop as well. And I find that using your finger for glitters or the more glittery shadows from ColourPop is the best way to put these puppies on. And I will totally apologize in advance, but I find that using my middle finger to put on like shadows or primers or anything is like the easiest way for me. So no, I am not flipping anybody off, but yes, this is the best finger I've found. I don't know, does anybody else use a different finger for patting on like colors? I don't know. I think that's kind of interesting now that I stop and think about it. But the next shade I'm going to be using is the shade Onai. It's Nona or N. I don't know, but that's how you spell it. I believe it's from the Megan collection that they had. I always butcher her last name, so I don't even want to kill it. But I'm just going to go ahead and pop that into the inner corners there, just to add a little bit of brightness. I know it kind of seems to dull the Birthday Girl shadow, but I liked it. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the LC Cosmetics foundation in the shade Vanilla. I did go ahead and do a review on this video. Really, really loving this foundation, and this is kind of just showing you what I had talked about, how I apply it as well. I just basically just dot some on, and with the Beauty Blender, it just kind of gives me like a nice base. And then because I don't like anything too heavy foundation wise, I just go in like as I normally do, just to use a little bit of extra foundation and cover up any hyperpigmentation and the little pink areas you get right around your nose. And this seems to work great for me, kind of just balances everything out. And then for concealer, I'm just going to be using the Fit Me concealer from Maybelline in the shade 15. And then this is the more Beauty Blender that I butchered, and I ended up like using it like a cheese grater because I accidentally used the Spa Glove from Sigma, and like literally the top just cheese grated off, and I use the bottom now. I do use this dry. I know that you're not supposed to technically, but for some reason I found like with this concealer it works the best for me. And then this is the Marc Jacobs Featherweight Foundation that I had mentioned in my LC Cosmetics review as well. This stuff is so good. I really, really enjoy it. It's very natural looking. It's nothing cakey. I've even tried using it with the little poof that it comes with, and it still doesn't look anything cakey. It's just a very lightweight, in my opinion, setting powder. And then for bronzer, I'm going to be using the shade Bon Voyage from the ColourPop as well. All these obviously are ColourPop. With this, I find that you have to definitely swirl your brush in a lot more so that you can pick up more color, because they're very, very sheer and you have to build up with this bronzer. But it is a nice cool tone shade for anybody who's pretty fair. This one worked the best for me. And this brush is just been my favorite lately. I have mentioned it in previous favorites. Pretty much every single one of these brushes in this video are from Morphe, except for that powder brush that I use for the Marc Jacobs. That's in Eco Tools. I believe it's like a powder brush. I don't know. I really, really like it. It never has had any fallout. So it's a good brush from Eco Tools. And then for blush, I'm going to go in with the shade Olive. This brush is probably the best that I've found for these blushes because it, like I said, you have to swirl a little lot to pick up a good amount of product. But the fibers are really, really dense. This is one of the gunmetal ones from Morphe as well. And then for highlight, I'm using the shade Spoon, which I found out after I was looking closer up in the mirror does have chunks of glitter in it. So if you don't like that, I definitely would stay away from Spoon. It does have a really nice luminosity, as you'll see a little bit better when I go and put it on the opposite side, but up close it does have chunks of glitter. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. I do put it on my cupid's bow after I go ahead and highlight my temples. Sorry, not my temples, the higher points on my cheekbones. And then I do put a little bit on my nose. Normally I'll do that just like with the tip of my finger, but for some strange reason I felt the need to do it with a brush today. But whatevs. On for brows, I just use the same routine I've been using for a while. It's just the Benefit Gimme Brow in the medium deep shade. This is great. I've actually changed up how I do it just a teeny bit in the inner corner because I went and got them shaped, but this was the normal routine. I'm going to go back in with that shade to a T, the warmer one, and go ahead and just run that with that same pencil brush from the Elite collection underneath the eyes. Literally, I felt like I had something in my eye right then. That's why it looked a little bit weird. Go ahead, bottom lash mascara, just the same Ico London Black Magic one. And then this is the YSL. Oh, man, I totally forgot right now. I'll link it below. This is the coolest mascara I've ever encountered because it smells really good. It smells like a perfume. I know that's probably definitely something some people want to stay away from, but I really like it, and it kind of like activates the scent every time you blink, which is cool. Then for the brow powder, because I like to let that Gimme Brow set a little bit and dry, I'm just going to go ahead with the chocolate shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills as normal as well. And with that one, just go ahead and shape it as normal, going to both sides. And then for that inner corner, I just use the lighter shade in the palette just to kind of make it a little bit more natural right into that inner shape that I create. And then after that, I'm going to be going in and setting that with the clear brow gel from Anastasia as well. I do tend to just stay towards the bottom of that because I find that it does take some of the product off the top shape. And for lip liner, I'm going to be using the shade Bound, which is just like a really pretty, slightly pinky neutral shade, and just lining the lips. If you want, you could totally fill this in and it would just be a really pretty shade on its own, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the liquid lippy on here, and this is just the shade Solo, and it's just like a nice pretty warm pinky nude just like Bound is, but Bound's a little bit deeper, but they go really well together. And I don't know why, but do you see that in the inner corner? That's going to bother me every time I look at it. It's bothering me, but whatevs. This is the finished look, and I really, really like that birthday girl shadow. It's so pretty, but I will definitely try and find something similar as well for you. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye.